Hello and Allahu Akbar, the Baha'i greeting to all the people of the world. Time is 10 minutes past 12. It's 31st, actually, or 30th of July. In the past few days, I spoke to the Muslim world. It is only fair that I show my concern, which are just as deep, towards the Christian world, those who believe the Bible, those who believe the words of Jesus Christ. Well, if you study the Baha'i faith wholeheartedly and honestly, seeking for an answer, looking to see what the reality of Jesus Christ is, I recommend you a book called Thief in the Night, among many other books that Baha'is have published. You'll see indisputably that Jesus Christ, as he was, his reality has returned in 1844 in Iran. It is in the Daniel, when they ask him, when will you come back? The word is when, and he refers them to Daniel of the 2,300 days, which becomes 1844. So I'm not going to get into that tonight. We have done that before already. But Baha'ullah, in the interpretations of the divine infallible guardian of the faith of the Baha'i faith, Shoghi Effendi, has clearly said Baha'i faith is not in competition with the religions of the past. Baha'is also have responsibility to show the reality of the dispensations of the past, strengthen their foundations even, to show what it was and how it's been changed. The reality and the truth of the religions, when Jesus Christ comes as a manifestation of God, it is like the mirror that the sun shines into it. So the mirror really becomes sun. And that way you can't call Jesus Christ God, because God is reflecting in it. For what we can understand, of course the reality of sun can never be coming into a mirror. I've said that before. But what we have to know about God, it's transmitted there. Much like a webcam, or somebody from a distance away through the webcam on a computer speaks to you. Jesus Christ is that computer that you talk to God. But this reality, as it's not been studied, has just been inherited in the course of time, from parents to the children, children to their children, and so on and so forth till then. It is just like a picture, a true, nice, beautiful picture. Imagine a good, high-definition pictures. But when you get a photocopy from it, the photocopy is not exactly like the original. But imagine if you take another photocopy from that photocopy, and you repeat this in the course of time. After 1,000 years, many photocopies from the original, the reality of that picture is completely get lost. God looks like devil. So we have to investigate for ourselves to understand it. We cannot just be inheriting it. Although in the West, not like in the Muslim world, the science and technology have washed a lot of things away and cleared it for people. But still, people do not know how to deal with Bible as God, as a religion of God, as a part of their life. You have to think about it. Those who believe in Bible. Why did God send Abraham, who had a wife, Sarah? He had another wife, Hagar. Why did he send him all the way to Saudi Arabia in an absolutely desolate land? There was nothing there. When you look in the course of time, you see that from Sarah, Isaac comes, and from Isaac, ultimately Jesus Christ appears. But from the other son, his second wife, Hagar, Ishmael comes. And His Holiness Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, appeared from him. So Islam and Christianity are two most similar religions to each other. They have great affinities, and yet they have so much conflict between them. And these two religions of the Jesus and Moses, they come from the religion of Jesus and Muhammad. They come from the Old Testament. In reality, it seems that Abraham was the grandfather and Moses is like the father and the children of Christianity and Islam. Yet these three religions, they have so much conflict with each other because of the lack of true studies by their scholars. It is clear that the religion of Moses for 3,000, today 500 years, and a time when Jesus Christ appears in it, some 1,500 years past, many people studied it. Many people perhaps learned from it. I've mentioned a few of them. King Cyrus became very interested in it, Persian empires. And on the Greek side, there are evidences that Socrates was a student of their philosophy, but yet it was not proliferated. It was not a universal religion. It was right in the Judea. But it took 1,500 years for it to give its fruit, which is Christianity. It's the fruit of Judaism. And then it took it all the way to Europe. But as soon as the Christianity appears among the people, the clergies, the early spiritual leaders, they did not understand it well. The one good thing that Constantine did, he put all the Bibles, there are many, many versions. He finally chose the 4 versions and put it in one book, so it creates some kind of a unity, because there was thousands of versions. But was misunderstood. So as soon as the Holy Roman Emperor, Charlemagne, he tried to bring a bit of philosophy, Greek philosophy, into it. It created what we know as the Dark Ages. Because the spiritual leaders, they did not know how to relate this new book of God, this Bible, with those knowledge of the antiquities. They felt that they're getting hijacked, and it was not compatible to them. So they said nobody should, get into those things. People on their own, they were familiar, with Hercules. And he is the son of those gods in Olympus. And they felt that, this is stories of Jesus Christ that they're relating. It's much like those of the Hercules, son of God, who in the earth tried to help people. This was the mentality. So the early Christians, the disciples, those who were really inspired by Jesus Christ, they had to wait. They had to take time for the truth of Jesus Christ to turn into legend. Because if simply you tell the truth to the people whose mind is full of Greek and Roman mythology, they will not accept it. It looks very plain. So they try to create a vessel, a dish, you may say. And that's how this Bible is. So the Bible really is two parts to it. In the Baha'i faith we believe those sayings are the saying of Jesus Christ. They're infallible, they're truth. And they are the eternal food of God, revealed through Jesus Christ. But this food is being taken in some kind of a vessel. The food, you just can't eat it. You have to have a vessel. The language and the Roman understanding, as we know, it was so mixed with those, intertwined with those mythology of the Greek and Romans, that they had to create a Roman vessel, a Roman dish, a Roman plate, a Roman cup, to put the actual truth in it. What God is interested is what's in this cup, and He likes to feed you with it. To God, it doesn't matter if you take it in a cup or in a plate or any which way you want. But if you understand that you have to love your enemy, and what is that mean, then you're okay. Now you want to say, okay, the person who said that he also walked on the water, who also gave life to the dead people. But now, today, this book of the Bible, especially the Apocalypse of the John and even the book of Daniel, has been the base, has been the source for creating all these arts in Europe. The entire Europe has been changed by this book. All of the Europes. All these arts, all of this. And there's no explanation for the power of this book and these sayings. Because, as I said, the power of Jesus Christ is not even in what He says. It's bigger than that. It's unknown to us. It is that creation of that gravity. Just like the universe, where God uses the scepter of gravity and the mass to create organization around the galaxies, around the solar system. The bigger object makes everything to orbit around it. It creates in the spiritual realm the reality and the truth of Jesus Christ to create and bring everything in orbit. And it did so, because the Europe changed completely. And that is the truth, the biggest truth of Jesus Christ, biggest of them all. But these writings and these stories, in the course of time, although they were acting almost like a teacher to tell the people how to write or to read and how to imagine. So today when you look at the Hollywood, the students, they're bigger than the master. Their imagination has created so many Superman and Batman and this and that put the mind of the entire world, if not Americans and Europeans,